So.
Hi again everyone, and welcome to part 3 of our Nursery Juniper demonstration. At this point the trunks have been placed in their final positions and we've wired out virtually all of the branches except one so that I can show you a little bit of branch wiring. And what we're going to do in our third installment is wire out one or two last little branches. Then we're going to pot the tree in this nice drum pot that we have over here left over from another project. So let's start out by cutting a little piece of wire here, and we'll take it about twice as long as the branch that we're going to wire. And then for branch wiring, what we simply do is we put a couple of anchoring turns of wire around the tree's trunk, and then we spiral the wire around the branch. And then we place the branch into position. And I think maybe we got, well, I think this particular branch, I think we're just going to cut, and then we'll wire out the one next to it. And after that, we'll be ready to repot the tree. These green mound junipers are fairly fast growing, so this wiring isn't going to stay on for more than a year at most. Okay, this is the juniper with its initial styling finished. I think we might have one or two more little branches to prune out. And now what we'll do is we will take a root saw and we'll take the bottom part off the root ball. This is fairly standard procedure so that we can fit it into a bonsai pot. Now this is July here, and we generally don't do repottings in July on trees from temperate climates, but we can get away with it if we keep the tree in the shade. And since we did a root reduction commensurate with, that feels like it's, yep, that's the bonsai wire. Came down a little too far with it. So we'll just cut that wire there. And then we'll come around and cut through the rest of the root ball. And that is actually a root that needs to be cut. Reach in there, yep, we got one or two more. Now I've pre-prepared our bonsai soil to go into the pot, and I like to mix it in an old wash bucket. And this is my standard mix: 1 part pumice, 1 part decomposed granite, 1 part builder's sand, and 1 part potting soil. And we'll just spread a thin layer on the bottom of the bonsai pot, and then we'll see if we need to take any more off the root ball. Yep, we need to take just a bit more off of there. So we'll take our root saw and go down another couple more inches. One other thing, if you're working on trees in warm weather like this, then it's a good idea to keep a hose handy and keep some water on the tree and on the roots in order to keep the thing from drying out its roots and having the roots dying on you. So before we put it in the bonsai pot, we will take it over to a hose and wet it down a bit. Now the good news is this pot has some nice extra room around the sides. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to tilt it up just a little bit so that our trunks are aligned visually correctly. So we'll take a little extra soil and put it in under what will eventually be the front of the tree. And then we just fill soil in around the edges. Tamp it down a bit because we don't want to have any air pockets in the soil. That attracts all manner of ants and earwigs and other undesirable creepy crawlies. Let's get this back on the turntable here so that we can turn it around and see where we're going with it. Going to put a little more soil in here, and that's going to be the finish of this particular video. Okay folks, time limits us from doing much more with this today. But what we're going to do now is put just a little bit of water on it. We'll start out by misting it in order to get the soil down so that it doesn't wash away. And then we'll shower it a little. And typically when you first water after a repot, you want to run the water until the water starts running out the bottom of the pot. But because of time limitations, here it is folks. This is your finished instant bonsai.